Get ready to set sail for bloody adventures in this week's chapter of Hunter x Hunter. The Dark Continent arc is officially underway and the death tolls officially begin. This was another fantastic chapter of Hunter x Hunter, which, like some of the previous chapters, was very wordy. Still, this one right here was really great because you knew that things were going to go really bad as soon as this journey began. I just didn't expect it to be like immediately as soon as this giant whale ship was deciding to take off. It almost seems like things are destined to go completely wrong on the ship, considering how many people are on board, not to mention the location that they're actually going to. People who read the One Piece manga series are going to see a lot of similarities in this week's chapter of Hunter x Hunter, as they're getting ready to go on this big 2-month journey to this mysterious land known as the Dark Continent. And they make it very clear that getting there is not going to be an easy prospect. There's going to be a lot of things in the way. Hell, the elements of nature are going to be one of the biggest issues. But honestly, the most dangerous things are on the ship itself, because the deaths are already starting to mount up. Almost half of the guards that Kurapika has actually been currently working with are all already dead through incredibly mysterious circumstances. He finds one of them, which is in this bathroom, covered in holes all over his body, and his blood has been completely drained. And no one knows how this went down. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that all of the other guards that Kurapika is currently working with have no idea what the current situation is all about. They never actually were interviewed by the Queen personally. They were just sort of hired to be bodyguards for this big high death risk situation. So there could be a couple of things going on here. There could be someone on board who's not telling the truth and seems to have some sort of secret nen abilities, and they're trying to take out people one by one. Or this could very well be one of the Nen beasts, which is hacked from one of the eggs, which was belonging to one of the siblings of the king. There are a lot of mysterious possibilities here. I've already seen a lot of theories from a lot of people. Some people even feel that Phantom Troop might even be involved at this point. I don't think they're going to reveal themselves, at least at this point in the storyline, especially with all of these important people who are here. And that's the thing about this chapter. We really get to see where everyone is at. And we also get to see a lot of characters that we haven't seen for a long time. We're going to see all the different members of the Zodiacs in this week's chapter. We also get to see the return of Leario, which I think is honestly very welcome. He's one of my favorite characters. He's the most seldom used of the main characters as well. But the real star of this chapter, without a doubt, is Kurapika, who is coming back in full force, and even deciding to reveal what his Nen abilities are at the very end of this week's chapter when he realizes, oh shit, these guards don't know what the hell's going on and they're all being picked off one by one. So he actually decides to use his Nen abilities at the very end and starts to interrogate each of them with his chain abilities, pointing a gun at each of them, and he's going to ask them each a question. If that chain moves, he's going to end up shooting them, and he'll know exactly who to go after. Other little developments in the chapter, of course, is we get to go to the big ballroom where all the other siblings are, all trying to figure out how they're going to deal with this whole succession war. Some of them actually feeling that it's going to be like this big battle royale, and there's even that one daughter who goes by the name of Kacho, who plans to actually kill all of her siblings as well. You can see that everybody's basically trying to screw each other over, and they're going to have 2 months to be able to pull this off. Another thing that's really great about this chapter is apparently we're going to see the return of Morel and Nove. Yes, 2 of the big characters from the Chimera Ant arc are going to be returning, and I can't wait to see what Nove is going to be like, because if you guys remember at the end of that arc, he basically just went through this massive nervous breakdown, and his character basically just changed into someone completely different. So I can't wait to see what he's going to be like here, if he went back to his previous personality. My guess is he's still probably going to be shitting his pants with fear, especially because he is going to be going to the Dark Continent arc, which features a lot of really powerful creatures, some of which are on the same level as the Chimera Ant King. It's going to be insane, to say the least. And of course, like I said, you get to see a lot of the Zodiacs in this chapter, who are also hanging out with a lot of other new characters. Some of them are hanging out with the kings, some of them are trying to figure out how they're going to transport supplies to the Dark Continent, and then of course there are those who are guarding beyond Netero, and they decide that it's really not important for any of them to be there. I feel that this is a stupid decision, however. This is something that is going to bite them in the ass, because the moment they decide to just have one person watching this guy, something is going to go wrong. As powerful as the Zodiacs are, as amazing as they are, something is going to get in the way here. Now, the thing I'm most interested to learn, though, is all of the stuff with Kurapika. That's the thing, I think, to me, the most interesting part of this chapter right here, aside from the kick-ass announcer at the very beginning of this week's chapter. But Kurapika is a character who's been absent from the story for a long time, and to finally see him come back into his own, working as a bodyguard, basically as a mafioso as he was in the old days, is really refreshing, because he's always a really fun character to watch. He could practically be the main character of the series. Hell, you could say that actually about the main four themselves. Gon, Killua, Leario, and Kurapika. They could all really, like, take charge of this entire series. And the fact that Gon and Killua are completely, like, absent from all of this still is a testament to how entertaining this arc is right here, if a little wordy. There are some parts of this chapter which I feel are a tad unnecessary, like there's this one scene where there's a couple members of the crew and they're talking for a couple of pages just about reading up on the dangers of the Dark Continent. Now, basically this is just more build-up to let things know how dangerous things are going to be, how it's going to be really difficult for them to survive, but, you know, we already knew that. We really didn't need to see any of that. But every scene which involved the Zodiacs going to the various floors, even the scene with Melody was really funny when she actually overheard Kacho saying that she wanted to kill all of her siblings. She's a really, really funny character, but Kurapika is the true star of this one right here, especially finally getting to see him use his Nen abilities at the end. It is a great cliffhanger ending. So, what's the rundown on this week's chapter of Hunter x Hunter? Whodunit? That's exactly what this arc is right here. It's a whodunit mystery story at this point, and it's probably only going to get crazier because we have no idea who it is who's actually killing people on this ship. And it's going to lead to a lot of interesting prospects. There's going to be twists and turns. Phantom Troop might be involved. You have all the people from the Kingdom of Kakin. Phantom Troop might jump in, and we might even see a few other surprises. And the fact that it's going to take 2 months to get there is crazy. We're probably going to spend a lot of time on this ship. We all know how in manga and anime, they really like to take their sweet time with these storylines, so get comfy. We're probably going to be out at sea for a long damn time, which means the build-up to going to the Dark Continent is going to be even better. Because if things are this crazy right now, just imagine what things are going to be like when they go into fucking Jurassic Park. It's going to be insane. But yeah, Kurapika, like, he's the real star of this chapter right here. I absolutely love his character. I love the fact that he's taking charge, and clearly something is not right if all of the other guards that he's working with are uninformed about all of this, not to mention the concept of Nen, which is something that's interesting. I love the fact that the Hunter organization always tries to keep that like a big secret from the people of the world, yet it's such a common thing in the series. You'd think that everybody would sort of like know about it at this point, and by him sort of like divulging all of that, this could potentially end up biting him in the ass as well. He could actually be being set up right now. Like, this could all be going according to someone's plan. Someone could actually be just trying to draw out Kurapika so that they can get rid of him, but I don't think it's going to happen that easily. As for who it is that's actually attacking the crew members and draining them of their blood, I don't know, it could be a fucking vampire at this point, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be one of the Nen beasts, probably something that has hatched from an egg, but that's really just speculation at the moment. You know, it could be anything, and the Hunter x Hunter series always manages to break away from the stereotypical answers and give us something really surprising, which is what I'm really excited to see from this arc right here. So, fantastic chapter right here. Great writing. Getting to see all of the various levels of the ship, where people are, what they're doing, is also really great. The return of some classic characters, some brand new characters are introduced in an arc which already has an assload of new characters. Lots of interesting new developments. The deaths are already beginning, and Kurapika is the star of the series once again. So, this was a fantastic chapter right here, which you should definitely check out if you've been following the series, and I highly recommend that you keep following the series because this is Hunter x Hunter we're talking about. There's no telling when it's going to go on hiatus again, so we need to absorb it as much as possible. This is the type of chapter that, like, as soon as I'm done reading it, I go right back and I read it again. And then when I'm done, I read it again. It's that exciting. The dialogue is that riveting, the artwork is that cool, and the characters are just infectious and awesome. So, great chapter right here. I absolutely loved it. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. It was some stellar writing, with some great mystery behind it, and a fantastic cliffhanger ending, which is going to make you want to beg for next week's chapter, which is exactly what a good manga chapter should do. So, 5 out of 5 for me. Check it out, Hunter x Hunter fans. You might see something you like. But if any of you did read this week's chapter, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comments section below. What's the deal with everyone's blood getting drained? What exactly is going down? And what do you want to see from the rest of this Succession War arc as we get closer to the Dark Continent? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I really appreciate it. If you would like to help support Super Kami Guru 9000, you can do that in a number of awesome ways. You could like this video, share it with a friend, comment on it, but most importantly, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be able to see all of our latest anime and manga reviews as they are released. And make sure to also check out our weekly podcast series, The Powerful Nerdcast. You can find links for that in the description box below. Thank you guys again for watching. And as always, stay dandy, baby.